Hello viewers, and welcome to the race today. I've just jumped on, no practice today, so hurt my shoulder, so it's going to be interesting seeing how we get on. Just changed the brake balance, so we're going to change it to the rear. Apparently that's what you've got to do, so well, I don't like that at all, so I'm actually going to change that back to the front. Actually, that's not working for me. We'll have to work with less power. Maybe we can change it a little bit to the rear. And then we're ready to go. Brilliant, brilliant. Just trying to sort my lighting out here. And Mike, and a hello to you too, Mike. Okay, I've got 5 minutes, so I've got time to get around for one lap. Completely forgotten all my gearing. That'll teach me for not coming on here with time to practice. Oh, there you go. Last race of what has been a torrid second Nations Cup season for me. Having said that, I've scored quite a lot more points than I did the first time. But, it could have been a lot better. So not long now to the first race, and we'll see how we get on. Oh, the braking's very different like this. Not as comfortable for me at all. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to change it back. Because I've not practiced with the braking like that at all. That's really disruptive for me. So I could do with probably about 10-15 laps practice. But we're going to start with 1 lap's practice. Okay, so that's not the best start. Thanks, Forza Ferrari. Okay, 1 lap practice. That's all we've got. This is it, our 1 lap practice of the day. Okay, we're on the hard tyre here, so very different to drive. So we're about 2 seconds slower in the first sector, but there's still time to be gained there in terms of the harder tyre. Considering a risky strategy here for the first race, and why not? A bit of a risky strategy is always good, adds a bit of enjoyment. Even if it means we don't do very well, I always like to investigate. So I've managed to sort out the lighting here now. And we've got, you know, it's nice and bright. Nobody's talking at the moment, pure silence, talking to myself. Okay, so you need to brake earlier in these tyres. That's interesting. So it does make a big difference here. Even though we're practicing on the wrong tyres for quali, it's still good to get an understanding for the race. And in awe. Thank you, Stephen. Now, one thing we don't know for sure at all in the race is going to be fuel management, and that's the only thing that's a complete mystery to me. See, this is easy flat on mediums, but on the harder tyre it's a very risky affair. So it's a bit slow, but at the same time I think we've got another 2 seconds we can get out of this tyre. So I think if we can do 324s, 325s. Wow, okay. Really got to wait for traction though. Very different to drive compared to the medium tyre where you can throw the car. Stephen thinks YouTube is duplicating my stream. It actually appears on 2 YouTube channels. So it's on the Team VVV and the Team VVV Games channel at the moment. So I've switched it onto both basically to get something on the Team VVV Games channel now and again. Thanks, driver. Scott's watching in silence. What car am I driving? 919 hybrid Porsche. I think I'm the only person driving it in the whole sort of race. I don't think anyone's going to be driving it because apparently it's not as good as the other cars. And you can see here as well, tough lobby as ever. But we'll see how we get on in terms of points. I'm going to play a different strategy today. Thanks. Hi, Flash. I hope you're liking the green screen goodness. It's a bit bright. I do have a very bright light in my eye line here. I'm probably going to have to do something about that at some stage. But either way, it looks good. It looks more professional, doesn't it? And you've got a nice racy cam there now. You know. Okay, so let's just change the tyres first onto a medium, and then that way we can have a little warm up and be ready for the race. So what are we looking at today, viewers? Well, we are looking at being slower on the straights but faster in the twisty bits. That means that it's hard for us to overtake people, easy to get overtaken on the straights. So our strategy today is going to be take that into account, and we're going to just see how we get on, basically. Wow, look at that cone go, and look at the penalty go as well. And that's how easy a penalty can happen. 3.3 second penalty for cutting that corner. That will ruin your race. That will send you from the front of the pack to the back, no doubt about it. Look how much speed we lose on the straight, but we will gain it in the twisty bits, you see. And he's got a penalty there, so it doesn't really matter. And there you go, that's a penalty for you. And that penalty means you lose 3 seconds on the penalty area, but also you lose 3 more. You'll lose 6 seconds just with that penalty. And that's an enormous amount of time. the most challenging thing about this lap is the penalties are random to an extent. So yeah, this isn't the fastest car, but it's. I thought I don't want to be spending lots of money on different cars because I've only could buy one car. So I thought, well, let's just stick with a car we already own and see how we get on. Basically, no one else is using it, so quite unique. Okay. Qualifying will be challenging because of my straight line disadvantage. All right. Now, as I understand it, there's only going to be one qualifying lap. So, but we'll try and make it all the way around. But if you go too slow, you might be able, if you go quick, you'll be able to do it. Now that guy's going to rocket away from us as soon as we get through that corner, so I won't get much benefit from slipstream, which is going to be quite challenging. So you can see how he pulls away, and that's why this is going to be a race of strategy. We're not going to be quick down the straights. We're going to get overtaken by half the field, but I thought let's just try it because that car is quite difficult to drive, and I think you're going to see penalties and mistakes. So CIN, that's right, yeah, well, there's a few dotted about, oh wow, that cone caused some problems there, didn't it? Don't want to have that happen in the race. It is super solid. This is the official F1 wheel, so this is what the F1 guys use. Do you see how we're closing on him now at the end of the lap? That's really interesting, isn't it? Just how much we close up in the twisty bits. This is a nice little experiment really in terms of where we're going to stand compared to some of these guys who are likely to be much quicker. And I got it wrong there, carried too much speed in. Didn't quite get the start of my lap right there. He slowed down a lot and that slowed me down. Oh, and I had to cut. It's giving me a penalty then. No, it hasn't. Hasn't. I saw him going. Ah, look at the speed. Wow. That's not what I needed, sadly. I was hoping he would stay ahead. But you see, look, he's got more speed down the straight. Look at him go. Tow me, tow me. Wow, look at him go. This is where my quality is going to be challenging. I haven't got the speed. Haven't got the straight line speed. Look at him go. Come on, give me the tow. Give me the tow. Look at him go. He's going to brake earlier than me. This is tricky. This is actually going to mess up my qualifying lap quite a bit, unfortunately. But it's good fun. It's good fun. This is what the race is going to be like. A bit messy. Oh, look at him go on the straights. Wow. Damn, damn, damn. It's going to be interesting. Oh, and I got messed up there. Just got slightly unsighted. That was a shame. So what's happening here is I can't use the advantage of my car. Oh God, I can't use my advantage to get past him. So he's holding me up on the twisty bits, which is where I'm quick, and then he's going to pull away on the straights. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Not a great lap time either, so we're going to fall way back. We lost about 2 seconds in this little battle, but it's a shame. You can see how much quicker we are on the corners though. But this is kind of what the race is going to be like. It's really going to be interesting to see. I don't quite get any slipstream at this point. Just too far away. So you've got to be close to get some help. Mark is right, I will. And that's why I'm going with a different strategy to everybody else. So it's very difficult to get on the power through there. We're losing quite a bit of time actually in this little battle though. So we lost 2 to 3 seconds in the first sector just following this guy because we're too close to him on the twisty bits. But as you can see on the straights is where he makes his time. Oh, I've made a mistake there. Oh, I've ruined that, haven't I? Damn! My qualifying woes come back again. I was focusing too much on him and not enough on my own quali. Do we have time? No, we don't. We don't have time to go again. So we're just going to do another lap on these tyres. Hopefully give him a bit of space now. These tyres are worn, but we still might be able to do a better lap on them. Oh no, that was the end of it. Damn, so it cuts us off with 3 minutes remaining. I thought there was still 3 minutes remaining, but that's it. Oh. Right. I'll be straight back. Right, we're sorted, ready to go. Third game says Gran Turismo Sport is dead. Gran Turismo next to PlayStation 4. Well, let's hope we do get a new proper Gran Turismo one of these days. We're 10th place. I think given the fact we lost quite a bit of time, that LM55 VGT seems to be much quicker. So we're probably in the wrong car for this race, but we'll do our best, viewers. We'll do our best, and I'll focus not on the other cars, but I'll focus on myself and see how we get on. See how we get on, viewers. Long old wait, isn't it? This one for getting ready. Feet are cold. Freezing feet. You get cold on the pedals, you see. Look at that. It's a futuristic car, isn't it? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. This race isn't just about the speed, it's going to be about consistency. So we're going to do our crazy stupid race and see how we get on. The strategy. Right. Hard. Let's just try it. Oh, that's something we don't want. Traction control was on 1. I want that off. Didn't realise that had turned itself back on again. Okay, right, that's it then. That's it. What if we're in 10th place? We could have gone a bit quicker, couldn't we, if we weren't held up? I think we could have done a 3:25, 3:24. So, and if I'd done my time the other day, I'd have been in pole position. So it just shows, having track position, how important it is to get anywhere. Here we go then. Heroes, return again to the racetrack. Together again for the Nations Cup. Hello, Marek. And I thought I will. See how we get on. Okay. So, audio set. Ready to go, and as you can see, I'm the only person in this car. I'm in the wrong car. I'm going to get swamped, but I'll do my best, guys, and I think this is all going to be about keeping it clean. If I need to pit stop, and I'm intending a no-stop strategy, it's going to be bad. But those tyres we were just on just now, they lasted for what? 2-3 laps. 4 laps I'd have exhausted, 5 laps I'd need to have a pit stop for sure. So let's just see. No, UPS car there. That person does fast deliveries. Oh, I've got to flash my lights. Flash my Porsche. Hey, there we are. Bit of flashing. Keep the feet warm. Keep the feet warm. That's it. Ah, here we go. Here we go, guys. I feel quite tense about this race because I don't feel entirely comfortable with the strategy in terms of it's going to be tough. Like, when I get to the straights, people are going to be all over me. It's going to be a minefield for me to keep it clean into the braking zones. And I think people are going to get really impatient around me. But if I can build a gap during the twisty bits, or keep people behind. So the objective today, I think if we can finish in 5th place, it would be like a win to me. 5th place would be like a win. Okay, focus, focus. Don't give it to me on a corner. That's all right. I don't want control on a corner. Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Oh, this is not a good place. Look how much time you lose on 1st place. Just going across the start finish line. Amazing. 7 seconds. But remember, I'm on a hard tyre. Wow, what a difference it makes with the fuel on board. And there you go. There's those corner cuts I was talking about. We were taking it very gingerly there. What the hell? I know you got more straight line speed, but you went straight in the back of me. Oh my goodness. That was risky. That was risky. Wow, everybody going off on that corner. That was close. That was close, guys. That was close. You can see there everyone's using the cuts and I'm not, that's why I'm losing a lot of time. But you see here the damage it's doing to the lap times, you know, getting penalties. It's going to cause them a lot of grief. But see, straight line speed advantage is still just too much, isn't it? As soon as I get on the power. And I got it wrong. Damn it. Just misjudged my braking. Nearly did an Alan McNish. We don't want to do that. This guy's holding us up now badly. Damn. Damn. Haven't got enough speed on the straights now. So we would have had quite an advantage then. We might have been able to keep ahead of him, but that's really lost a lot of time there. Look at that, 2 seconds we lost on the car behind us. Will now likely overtake us on the next straight. Good, these two are having a little battle behind me, and that's just helped me out a little bit. So we were losing quite a lot of time behind that chap, but let's see if we can. Okay, so what's happening now is their tyres are wearing, and this is where my strategy will hopefully come back to me. Oh my goodness me. Wow, look at that. Penalties for you. was leaning on my own tyres a little bit then. Don't really want to damage them too much. Front left is looking a little bit tired as far as hard tyres are concerned. Being very careful through there. So everyone's staying out. Wow. Speed advantage here. Wonder why. Wow, I slightly misread that situation. I could have gone for the corner. His tyres are completely gone. Okay, his tyres were completely gone. Mine are wearing on the hards. So we're up to third so far. Look at him come back at me. More speed on the straights. Wow, 2 cars. How about that? Right, the guy in third has no tyres left, so on the twisty bits he'll be knackered. These guys might have new tyres because they're coming at such a rate now. I think he's had a pit stop. Because look at him go, his tyres are like super grippy. This is all going to get messy now. This guy's got no tyres ahead. Oh, I don't like this situation at all, viewers. This is a really risky situation now. Everybody's got to be patient. I might just sit behind actually for this next few corners. Not that I've got much choice at this rate. He was braking very late there. They'll get past me on the straights though. There's not enough benefit from the fuel, anything like that for me to make the difference. That's where new tyres come in though. Gave me a little tap there and it gave me a sportsmanship down. I don't quite understand that one. It's what you call maximum slipstream. Damn, I just don't have the performance. Ah, well, fifth place. Fifth place. Alas, no, Mark. You can't change the fuel in the tank. Because if you could, that would have been a result, wouldn't it? Do you know, I think given the strategy and given that we had a car that was so different, it was a good result all in all. I'm quite pleased with that result, chaps. I hope you enjoyed it at home. That was it was not too stressful actually. I was expecting it to be a lot more crazy, but everyone was quite sensible. I think so. I think had I started higher up and got a better qualifying lap as ever, I could have been in a position to win that race actually. But you know, you start 7 seconds behind the leader. Either way, you know, not bad points. You know, 1,200 points. It's not terrible. Yeah, that was good challenge. I feel alright about that, viewers. I think that was alright. It wasn't a bad race. You know, there's a lot of concentration. It's difficult to talk sometimes when you're actually racing, but that was a. Yeah, save the replay. But yeah, I think given that we had a full grid there of decent drivers to finish fifth, I felt quite comfortably actually. I felt we got quite held up a lot towards the end there, and that really did slow us down quite a bit. But oh yes, console racing, exactly. We have the green screen now. The green screen, viewers, for those of you that are new. We have a very bright light above me now, but it looks, I think, a bit more professional now, rather than, I used to have a Metal Gear Solid banner behind me, but it just looked like military, didn't it? Military. And I thought, you know, I want something racy. But then I thought, well, why not? At least you get to see the emotion and the gamer face, you know, hardcore gamer face. 5,200 points, viewers. That's not a bad score, actually. I have to admit, I am pleased with that. We could have had 6,000 plus if, for some of you may have seen races earlier in the cup where I had penalties that weren't my fault, and I lost 1,000 points through those penalties, which was a bit of a pain, has to be said. So I think we could have done about 6,500 in total this season, but quite pleased so far with that. That'll put me somewhere in the sort of top 30 in the UK, I think. We could have done better. One of my results would have given me an extra 300 or 400 points. But yeah, that was a good race, wasn't it? Now I'm not going to do the Manufacturers Cup. I did it the other day, and it proved to be. So what's the race entry? So we can't enter. We can't enter that because it's 16 superstars. Even though I'm a superstar, you know. Can we practice? Let's see. I wouldn't mind seeing what other cars were guys using. I don't know. Hold on, bear with me. Just want to. No, that's not what I want to see. Oh, okay. I don't even look at these screens. Okay, so that's my points. You can see there I had a couple of bad races, and you know, are we in top 200 somewhere? You know, oh, don't know what that means. Quite a way down, unfortunately. Oh, local area. Local secondary area. I don't even look at all this. So I'm 5th then. 5th in my current area. But I'm never going to beat these guys, am I? I mean, obviously, GTA Matty's like ridiculously good. I'm 34th in the UK, which isn't terrible. Which isn't terrible. It could have been better. Could have been better. But given the fact that I'm not doing hardcore practice, and I'm trying something different, aren't I? Let's see now. Don't know what these other cars are actually like though to drive. We've got the Audi, but I might just stick with the Porsche for another run. So I can't enter a race then for 55 minutes then, so that's kind of stuffed it, isn't it, for me this evening, which is a bit of a pain. This car was really hard to drive, you see, that's why I didn't drive it. That's why a lot of people are making mistakes, because it is really... So is GT Sport the game you feel best dialed into, Ben? Hi Ben. It does for me. I kind of like the handling. I kind of feels pretty good to me. It speaks to me. So that's the main thing. I am going to put a bit more time into Formula 1 again. Maybe run a career on Formula 1. That's been my plan. Besides that, I just have to wait and see what games appeal to me. Some various different racing games. But I find that sim type handling just feels more intuitive. I feel that, you know, racing experience was pretty good in that way as well. Some cars in Project Cars. So, you know, it's Hi Frank. Yes, I'm in the UK. UK gaming action. But no, I'm quite pleased. You know, I came onto this Gran Turismo to just have a go, basically, and I thought, oh, I'm never going to get into the top 200 players, and you know what I realised is that if I hadn't have had my penalties that some of you may have seen, I'd be top 20 in the UK. and I think if I practiced I could probably get into the top 10, but I'm determined not to get myself into that esports mindset because I'm too busy with other stuff. Now I don't know if any of you saw the trailer today for the Super Formula car on VVV. If you haven't, I'll just check out the video. I'm looking forward to trying this out. Hold on, let's just pop this in the chat for you guys. So that's a video of the new Super Formula car coming to the game. So that strategy worked quite well, I thought. The hard tyre worked quite well for me there. I wonder how difficult it is to drive this car, because I think this car will be very difficult to drive with a hard tyre. So we're going to just try something out here and see how we get on. We're going to try one traction control. And what the one traction control will do is it doesn't necessarily save you like that, you see, but it does give you more warning of, whoa, the car's going to slide. The car's got so much power, a bit of traction control doesn't harm it. So what I found there is that the car is very different through the chicane. With traction control on, a lot of delays, you need to go into a lower gear. That's right, Ben. Because I'm playing different games all the time, I mean, some of it you see, some of it you don't. Okay, so we've got to brake a bit earlier in this car, so that's something to remember. Obviously I was in a car that, oops, I was in a car earlier. Do you see what I mean about traction control there not saving you? It gives you a momentary warning, but it won't save you. Sometimes, Ben, I think a lot of people, they might stick to one game, or they just simply take it a bit more seriously. So they'll have lobbies set up where I just go into a race and I say to you guys, I don't know what's going to happen with the tyres, I don't know what's going to happen with the fuel. They practice all that. So they go into the actual race knowing full well how it's all going to stack up, and they do tons and tons of laps so that you build capacity. That means that you're more likely to put in a better lap during quali and a better lap during the race, and you'll see that with all the top players. A lot of top players as well won't admit to you how much time they play the game. I don't know why, but people like to say, oh, I barely played it, and then do a really good time on it. You see it all the time. And no, sometimes it takes people a lot of practice to you know, get it together and get those runs done. Just thinking that, you know, maybe I might try later just doing a different car, you know, because we've already got a decent points haul there. I think if qualifying had been better there, we could have even won that race. It's quite possible we could have won it, but starting from 10th, there's only so much you can do. See if we can put in a lap now. No. Still the wrong braking point there. It's a problem, you know, when you change car, you change gearing, but you change braking points. So what are we trying to do this time? We're going to brake a bit earlier into the chicane. We made a mistake here. Big Mike just got third best result so far. Well done, Big Mike. Well done. You know, practice makes perfect on all these games. That's the thing I always say. You know, it's. Oh, do you know what I did? Talking of which, I still broke too late then, didn't I? I was busy talking. Not busy concentrating. Of course, we're using the hard tyre as well. That's not helping, but it's good for practice. Yeah, practice makes perfect. You know, it's funny. The first game where I sat down and did some practice and realised how helpful practice sessions could be was actually Mario Kart on the SNES, and I remember getting it, and my friends were really good at it, and I was getting beaten all the time, and then I just decided to do tons of time trial practice. I got faster and faster and faster, and then I played them, destroyed everybody after that. And it came from just really good understanding of the actual karts. And then from that, I was able to improve my skills. Okay, right, okay. It's new. Thought we had braked enough then, and we didn't get no wheel spin because I've got the traction control turned on. Right. Bit of a 3-point turn, but we're okay. See, you can see the challenges though when you change from one car to another. You know, it always handles a little bit differently. You know, the gear shifts are in different places. And I mean, this is probably a better race car because it's so hard to pass on the twisty bits. Try again. Amazing that, isn't it? 3 minutes 42, both with completely different mistakes, but ending up with the same time. I always find that. I've still not got that first corner right, have I? Let's restart, try the lap now. So we are on hard tyres, remember, not on the medium, so it's a lot easier to drive this car on the medium tyre. And I think a lot of people there were on mediums, you see, but my feeling is that if you can manage to survive the first couple of laps, then you can really be in with a shot at the end again. You know, that's my feeling, but it's not easy to drive. See, the track limits on this track are just so weird, aren't they? So weird. brake earlier. Try traction off for a minute. Thomas V says, how did you calibrate your brakes? Well, I use the standard software. I think Fanatic install software to make sure I've got all the correct drivers. And then the ABS settings that's on the wheel. So there's a setting on the wheel called ABS. It doesn't mean ABS brakes. What it does is it gives you a rumble when you brake hard. So you can set a time when that rumble comes in. So you could have like 50% braking, have a rumble there. I have it set at 95 because I know that means I'm braking near enough 100%. Two things it means is, like there when I was braking, obviously I felt it all the way because I'm braking 100%. But what it means is you know when you're locking your wheels, you know when you're using a butt kicker or something. I do have a butt kicker, but I don't tend to use it that often. It was a good novelty item, but a butt kicker on its own I found, if anything, just more off-putting in a way. It just gave me a sort of nauseous vibration after a while. If you're going to get a butt kicker, don't get a butt kicker gamer actually, get the slightly larger one. I had one but it broke unfortunately after a very short time after I got it, which was a cost to me sadly. So I have two butt kickers. You need 4 though, but one of them, as I say, is not working. The big one, and the big one was massively better than the gamer. The gamer gave you a kind of buzz comparatively, whereas the bigger one gave you a kind of defined wobble that just felt more real. But the problem is stuff like SimVibe, which is one of the software options that power the butt kicker, only really work on sim racing. So I think if you're going to do iRacing, get 4 butt kicker gamers, attach them to your wheels, get a couple of big ones for the front and rear. Wow, you're smoking then. It's going to feel amazing. But if you're Joe Public, it's a fun little thing, but not essential. Not essential. I can't find the way through that corner yet, can I? Of course, I've turned off traction control now just to try and see if I can find some more speed, but see what a difference it makes, you know, through this section. It's so slow comparatively. Does that give me a penalty? No, it doesn't. That's so weird. Oh, it does. It does. That's good then. That's right. Good. Good. And I'm braking too late as well, just to add to the disaster of that corner. It's so difficult to know what to do, isn't it, viewers? I have to think that I let myself down a bit. Well, I didn't say I let myself down. I was a bit unlucky on the qualifying lap before, because I think we could have gone quite a bit quicker on the quali. There isn't much you can do about that, unfortunately. So give Ben your feedback. Let him know what game. What's that? Games. What were everyone's first racing game just played to death in order to master? That's a good question for everybody. For me, it was Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart, probably. I played other racing games, but there was something about Mode 7 on the SNES at that time, which was like, wow. I mean, Mode 7 was like future gaming in 3D. So we're improving our pace a little bit here, but remember we're on the hard tyre, so I'm not doing qualifying rounds here. I'm just seeing what I can get out of the hard tyre in terms of general pace. Now, I noticed earlier there I span, and that's because very challenging to get through that corner, isn't it? So we now know there that there's just corners here and there where you notice the wheel spin caught people out, and that gave me an opportunity to nip by. That was Gran Turismo 2, a great game. A great game, Gran Turismo 2. When I first saw Gran Turismo 2, I was disappointed. I thought, graphics don't look that great to me. They were, but in hindsight, they were pushing the system to its limits in other ways. But the game had so much great content, and I ended up playing through it thinking, wow, this is the dream racing game at the time. I would love an HD conversion of that, you know, just all that content in GT Sport. Yeah, so we could just muck around with different cars and, I don't know, try those different races and tracks. Even a Gran Turismo 6 HD running on the PS4 would be great. We may as well wait for PS5 now, though, of course, because we're in a minute. We'll just jump onto the medium tyre and we'll just try and see if we can improve any pace there. Braking too late again. My braking points for the other car are so locked in my mind that it's hard just changing cars, you know, because a lot of the time you're not thinking about all that, you're thinking about other things. Yeah, I think HD Gran Turismo 6. It's too late now. There's no point. Nicholas, what time's the race? Well, we've had one race already. Unfortunately, the next race is Superstars only, top 16 Superstars only, and I'm sadly not top 16. So I thought all Superstars would get a go, but sadly not. I am a superstar, technically. And Death Tree played a lot of Jeff Crammons on the Amiga. One of those lucky rich kids who had an Amiga. Ah, I had an Amstrad back in those days. Oh, it gave me a penalty for that. That's a shame. So it gives you no penalty for running super wide, but it gives you a penalty for running tight, which is a bit of a... So, doing okay. 326 and a 327 on hard tyres. That's a bit quicker than we were with the other car, but not much so, you know. Fuel makes a lot of difference as well. So just a little bit of replay, a little break from it. I wonder if we can watch this. Oh, is it already on yet? The Superstars race. Can we watch the Superstars race? Does anyone know? do. I don't know if we can. Let's have a look, shall we? There we go. Mario Kart cup of tea. It's what you need at the end of the day. There we are. Mechanics Mario Kart. Alright, as you do. Okay, let's see. Is it on YouTube? I don't know. I don't know. No, there's nothing streaming from anybody. Nobody is streaming at the moment. So I was wondering if it might be streamed, you know, but don't know. Does anyone know? Does anyone know with the let's see. And Beetle Adventure Racing on N64, great racing game. I can't remember it myself actually. I mean, I might have seen it. I mean, I probably will have. But yeah, the N64 is a blur to me. Graphics are quite blurry, and it's all a bit of a blur to me now. I was never a big fan of it. I mean, I got some really cool games on the N64. Mario Kart on the N64 multiplayer is amazing. Yeah, let's see, Jag. You know, Super Formula's a nice addition. Spa. Oh, we need some new tracks, don't we? I mean, really, they could do with, I think, a proper content update for Gran Turismo right now. I'd like to see several tracks in an update, really bring it up to speed, as it were. I don't know if this... can't see if there's any streams going on with... nobody's streaming. Thanks, Racer Fan. I was just looking to see here if anyone was streaming the FIA races, but it doesn't seem like anyone's streaming the... I thought Key or Tidney might be streaming it. But, so obviously there are mistakes in these laps with this car. It's very challenging to drive. I much prefer driving the Porsche. The thing about the Porsche is I could drive it all day long, but I don't know if we'll get time for another race. I don't think we will. Let's have a look here. Just seeing if there's a stream of the... No, no. No, nobody's streaming the nobody's streaming the race. Key's streaming the manufacturer race. Mightly Gun, thanks for that, brilliant. I can't see at the moment. That's a bit of a pain, isn't it? That would look much nicer on the PS4 Pro. Sadly, we don't have a PS4 Pro, but it would look good on there at 60 frames. And I love a bit of frame rate. So, until entry period, so we can't enter this race at all. Of course, there's only one, isn't there? Oh, I completely forgot. It forces you to do the Manufacturer's Cup. Aye. Oh, that's all right. I didn't work on that. Oh, wow. That's a nice present to have. I wonder if this is any good then. Should we try this out? That's a nice surprise, isn't it? They've actually given me a decent car. Unbelievable. Normally I get a car worth 10p. Right, let's see. Let's see if this McLaren can do something exciting. Oh, it's not in this regulation. Oh, that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? I thought that McLaren was supposed to have been able to have raced in this. Oh, it's not going to come up, is it? So that's a shame. I actually thought that McLaren was eligible to be used in this race. So it's just another useless car then. Let's have a look. Where is it? There it is. Let's just try it out. Let's just try it out, viewers. Let's see what we can do. I suppose I could have had a go at the other FIA race, but there would have been no point because it's on a circuit I don't know. Ben's just saying Star Wars Episode 1 Racer was the hardest game to master. Awful frame, yeah, awful frame rate. It wasn't what it could and should have been, for sure. Wasn't what it could and should have been. Oh, excuse me, viewers, 2 seconds. Okay, viewers, sorry, just had a slight technical issue there. That might mess me up at some point, but we'll see. Okay, I'm having a break for a minute. And we'll see just what this car is like. So yeah, that car a moment ago was like a rocket on we can't use this car. So something, probably because of that power issue. Bit of a shame. Let's just try it out anyway. Okay. Let's see how we go with this one. It's quite low, the viewpoint in this car, isn't it? Is this one of those where you're lying forward? I feel like I'm in the wrong position. I feel more racy at this position. You kind of want to sink more in the car, don't you? I can't get much lower because of my height. Oh, it's fast. 6 gears. Loads of understeer. Okay. Wow. Right, okay. Oh, it's interesting. Oh, it's all over the place. It's got terrible understeer. Like a rocket though. Wow, like a rocket. Okay, you want to brake much earlier than usual. So this car's good in a straight line. Oh, we've got traction control turned on. Let's just turn that off. Let's leave it on a 1 just to give us some idea. Maybe that will help with the okay, well, you have to brake a lot earlier. I was braking earlier there anyway. God, look at the speed. My goodness me. Grinding speed. Oh, and brakes locking as well. Okay, this car is tricky to drive fast. It's not necessarily tricky to drive. You can put, I mean, it's designed to have traction control on probably. I don't think it's designed to have traction control off. Make it less invasive. What was interesting there was the way the brakes didn't keep much balance in the car. Now in this car you're supposed to be lying forward. So you're actually lying down with your arms hanging below you. I don't see how that's comfortable. Tim's saying harness your Lando in this car. Absolutely, absolutely. This will be Lando in a few years when they build this, and he's a sort of 30-year-old man. Because you're so old when you're 30. Okay, okay, wow, I just don't know where to brake in this car. It's so tricky to brake in. Oh, look. Understeering everywhere. Even simple corners are not simple in this car. Let us go like a rocket now. Take into account what we've learned. And we still can't make the first corner. Even though we were braking about 10 meters earlier and lifting. Understeer all the way. Bullet speed down the straight though. Look at that speed. It's not just the speed it goes at, it's the time it takes to reach that speed. Rocket. Braking too late still. Ah. Figure out the braking points. Well, we're going to end there. Because that car's clearly not fit for purpose. I wouldn't want to drive that car. Yes, absolutely, Tim. Yeah, yes, it was free, wasn't it? I can see why it's not worth buying. Nobody will buy that car. Don't buy that car. It's rubbish. And if I had spent 1 million credits on that car, I'd be disappointed. Disappointed. Now this is the end of the championship. All done. So that's everything. Finishes today. I'm pleased actually. I'm pleased that we've got a reasonable result in the final race. We're going to go back to testing something a bit more reasonable. I feel that that car might be better for us in the race. I still don't feel that we've maximised our strategy with a Porsche. So we'll have one more go with this car, and then we'll jump back into the Porsche again. So, enjoying the new green screen, viewers? Now look at this green screen. It's like magic. We just need like green arms and spaceships, and then I can do my Star Trek Discovery special effects, which are massively impressive, by the way. I have to admit, if anyone's watched Star Trek Discovery, every episode's like a movie now. Right, let's crack on. What tyres are we going to use? I just want to try medium tyres for a second just to see where this is in terms of pace. We know that the hard tyres are very challenging to use in this car, but we also know that the tyres fall apart for everybody on the final lap. So thanks Marek, thanks for tuning in. And Jeff is here as well. Oh, blimey, I'm in cockpit cam view. We just want to change that. Actually, it's not too bad, is it, cockpit cam? Gives you quite a nice little view. But you have no rear view mirror. That's why we can't use it. That is why we can't use that camera. So no, we're going to have to use the bumper cam as usual. Rear view mirror is critical to me. Critical. Because it tells me so much about the body language of a driver in terms of the way they're moving around and how close they are. I've got to brake a bit earlier this time. Must remember to brake earlier. Just brake too early then, typical. So it's a balance. 1 or 2 meters in there would have made all the difference really. It's not terrible though. Better to get through the corner than fall off it. We're going to have to be very patient, I think, on the power in this car when we're in a battle. The hard tyres are really hard to drive with. See if we can improve a bit more this time. Okay, so we're improving. That would have put us on pole position in the race. And then we make a mistake like that. That's really interesting there. Carried more speed in. What to do, viewers? What to do? So we need to give ourselves more room. If we're to try out this car, completely different car for us to drive. It's going to be very tricky on the hard tyre if we try it. It's much easier to drive on the medium. Question is, where would we end the race? See, what we can't test is what this car's like on worn tyres. I wonder what to do. What to do, viewers? See, What's a bit frustrating is I think we could have won that last race with the strategy if we got a better qualifying lap. But again, it's one of those qualifying issues, isn't it? You know, someone goes off right in front of you and then doesn't let you by, and that's it. Cool. That's what difference it makes. Look at that. Just 1 meter earlier and we'd have been okay then. I have to wonder. Hello Charlie. Hello viewers. There are 2 versions of this McLaren for free. What are they then? One is a Group 1 version. I have the Group X version. Right. So they gave me the one that no one's ever going to use. It's just pointless. Brilliant. It's a horrid car anyway, isn't it, frankly? Horrid. It's so slow into corners, it doesn't feel very satisfying to drive. Third gear. Should have done it in third then. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, viewers. What shall I do? What shall I do? I think I need this car to win the race. I just don't know if I should go with medium. I think I'll go with a medium tyre because it's such a different tyre. You know, it is 4 seconds a lap quicker. 4 seconds a lap quicker. I don't have that, Jeff. I'm not buying any cars, so I've got to use this or the Porsche. The Porsche has already got a good strategy to it, so it just doesn't have enough straight line speed. Exit from that for a minute. So it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It's probably a better race car because it can overtake people. That's the problem with the Porsche, is you have to let people by. And hope that you build up enough time during the twisty bits to enable you to be competitive. So these are my cars. I'm gonna try the Porsche again. Difficult to know what it's capable of. The lap times were quite good on the hard tyre. Actually, they weren't too bad. Question is, what's wear going to be like? It's going to be marginal. Wear's going to be marginal if we go medium for the race. But it's worth trying out. I think it's worth trying out because I think we might. Depends on qualifying, doesn't it? I guess. I think if we get a good quali. I'm so much more comfortable driving this car. As soon as you turn the wheel, you're like, oh, this is much more like it. Just much more comfortable driving this car. I can drive it all day. Oops, daisy. Need a double shift there. Difficult to say, isn't it? You know, you're sort of 4 to 5 seconds lap quicker on this tyre. But if you need to have a pit stop, it's over. Definitely can't stop. So you've got to think about what best to do. Strategy, viewers. Strategy. Oh, I got a penalty then. I don't know what for. That's interesting. That is weird. I don't know why I got that penalty. Taken that line every single lap. Marginally late on the brakes there. Has anyone noticed an improvement in streaming quality recently, by the way? Just wondering if anybody's seen an improvement. Goodness me, look at the damage a penalty does to you though. Huge, isn't it? Crazy, isn't it? You know, it shows you that would have put me in the top 4 even that time with the penalty in that last race. It's not clear to me at all where the penalties are though. I felt like then I should have got a penalty, but no. Gran Turismo rules are just, oh wow, okay, and that's that basically. Right, so I think we're certainly in the zone. I feel that we'll stick with the same strategy we had before because it did help us towards the end. We lost a lot of time. We were 7 seconds down just crossing the start line on first place, and then we only lost 7 seconds in the whole race, so that's not bad given we were held up quite a bit. I think what that shows is that qualifying is important. It is important. Right, okay viewers, let's see, we've got a little bit of time, and I'm going to be straight back in just a moment and then we'll be ready for the race. Let's just sort this out here, and boom. Hello viewers. Okay, so into a race again. Oh, that out, there we go. And that's rather interesting, isn't it? You can drape it, drape it, bit of drapery over the seat to see how that works, as we've never done it. Here we go, live draping, but we won't because I'm going to catch on it and then that'll be it. It's not going to work properly. Right, okay, so let's get stuck in, and here we go. Okay, let's focus on this now. So just trying to decide what to do. Oh, okay, well we'll leave that and we'll see. If it doesn't enter me, then we'll just have a drive and call it an end. If we do get into a proper race, then all good, viewers, all good. Just trying to decide on a strategy at the moment that will work for me, because I feel that if we can keep our tyres together in this race, we can be strong at the end again like we were the last race. I think that guy pitted from a long way ahead because he had good pace at the end. Don't know where he came from actually, probably because I was taking my glasses off. I'll have to go get them. Right viewers, hold on a minute. Getting in and out of here is a lot more challenging now. Right, hold on. Damn it. Didn't know that. There we go. I press the button sometimes, a bit unresponsive. Thanks for that, professional. Trying something there, but it wasn't working for me. Can you guys still not hear me? Okay, brilliant. Thanks for that, professional. Too late there with the braking. It's amazing, you know, when you're driving a car, but then you change from the hard tyre to the mediums, and you're trying to adjust your braking points for later braking. It's very marginal, you know, but all those little differences really do sort of stack up. I think penalties on this track are also what's causing a lot of people a lot of problems. We're going to go, I think, with a hard tyre again, because it sort of worked for us in terms of an overall strategy before. Wherever we end up on the grid, I feel that it's only going to leave us in good stead. Oh, that's a shame. It's a shame. I don't quite know what I did to get that penalty then. See, again, that's a penalty. It could happen in the race, and I have no idea what caused it. 5-second penalty. Wow. Amazing. So we'll just restart, because there's no point. Oh, we can't restart, can we? We just have to continue because we're in the practice. So we just got to hope that doesn't happen in the race, basically. Okay. Ah, better luck next time. Well, there we go. That's it, viewers, for tonight. Unfortunately, no races for me. What is on this race anyway? Let's just take a look at the exhibition series. I don't think that's until 8 o'clock, which is too late. So that means sitting here for an hour. And the next one here, oh, 7:10. There's a race to enter, so we can enter that one. Let's enter this one then and see if we can do it in this one. Let's do it in this one. So we've got another race in 10 minutes. So we'll finish 10 minutes later than we expected, but at least we'll be ready to enjoy some racing action. go from there. So see what you can see. I think some of the guys are actually going to be streaming in that race. That'll be a rather interesting race to watch actually tonight. The whole streaming of the oh, I see what's wrong here. That's what's wrong here, right. So something wasn't working right earlier. Right, let's jump in here. Now, Key is doing this one as well, which is quite surprising. So I thought he was going to be in the. I thought Key, if you don't know him, he's a top racer. I thought he was going to be in the 7 PM race, but he's not. However, Tijani is, and he's got himself a foot cam now, which is very nice. I'm not going to do a foot cam yet. It's not going to happen for me. There's not much to see anyway. Feet sliding on pedals doesn't do as much for me. But it's going to be very interesting for those guys. Competitive racing action, viewers. It's all happening tonight on this track. So let's see. Oh, and there's me with my setup. Right, so we're getting there. We're getting there. It's very bright. Very bright. I'm going to have to dull myself down at some point. Greg's is here. Hello. And Glenn's here. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Greg's. Greg's, did you enjoy your F1 testing this week? I saw Mercedes removed a sandbag from the car just to let it get to 16.2, 1 minute 16.2 lap. That'll be interesting to see, obviously, when they take the other sandbag off, where they end up in the 1 minute 15s. I think I think McLaren were pushing as hard as they possibly could. I don't think they're going to be much further forward. Based on what I saw, it's a better car than last year, but so is everybody else's. We haven't really seen the old Honda pushing, have we yet? That's the thing. I haven't seen a Honda engine giving it its all, so I think that's going to be interesting. See a few blown engines. Take these off a minute to cool off the eyes before the next race. Oh goodness, it's been an evening of laps, hasn't it? I've done quite a lot of laps on this circuit, but it's a funny circuit because it's tyres and different cars, different tyres. It alters so much depending on the car you're driving and the tyres you're using massively. You know, it's a completely different challenge. And this car obviously is very slow on the straights. Autosport seem to think their lack of pace is genuine. For Mercedes, yeah, it's been strange, isn't it? Some of the Autosport coverage. I don't really like all Mercedes have got to show something, or they're nowhere. You know, it's like, oh God. Listen, it's testing, guys. Testing. If anyone's watched testing and knows F1 testing, they know cars never show anything in testing. What happens is in testing is you watch it every year and you end up with another car ending up top, and you go, oh look, this season could be different. It's going to be a different car at the front. And then you get to Melbourne, and whatever car was dominant, whether Red Bull, whether it's a Mercedes, you know, it's just gone. Only time in recent time where I've seen testing come across to the real race was the Brawn GP in 2009, which demonstrated massive pace in the final pace in the test, and then came to Melbourne and did it again. Amazing. No idea on engine mode, Greg. Exactly. Though looking at the body language of the car, you know, when I looked at some of the cars, they seem to be pushing more than others, you know, so just in the way the car was leaning, you know, you could see that the driver was rinsing it, whereas the Ferrari always seemed quite balanced, and so did Mercedes. I never saw it and thought, wow, he's really wringing the neck out of that, you know. Absolutely, yeah, Last Ninja. I mean, long runs are, you know, it's very difficult because they're mucking around with tyres and engine modes and all that kind of stuff. You know, there's a lot of testing they do, like you say, testing engine parts, temperatures, hydraulics, simulation, correlation. You know, it's a lot of that. Make sure the basic car is functioning, so that when they get to, and they're doing all little things, so that when they get to Melbourne, they'll attach all these new bits to the car that you've not seen, that completely change the way the car works in terms of perception. All the stuff you've then watched on Autosport, they were thinking up the wrong street. And because I do find that a lot of the time when analysts are looking at the cars, they say, oh, you can see the airflow here, it's going to go here. And you know, I think to myself, well, God, if you guys know more than the Formula 1 engineers, you should be making Formula 1 cars. I mean, we can all see roughly what they do, but nobody really knows, because the devil is in the detail, and that means there's hidden bits and alleys and tubes, and there's different materials they get as well. They're making flexible materials and different types of materials inside, and then there's the cheaty stuff that we never really know. Alan, what was your first racing video game? First racing video game was a Formula 1 game on the Amstrad. Formula 1 on the Amstrad. It was terrible. I wonder if I can find it. I'm going to find it. Hold on. See if I can find the video so you guys can have a look at. There's a man playing it, and he's let's see. I can't remember what. It was an F1 game on the Amstrad, and it was just dire. And it was terrible. It was terrible. So basically, the car didn't really corner in the natural sense of things. I can't find it. There was like one guy had a video of it, and it was dire, and it was the first racing game I ever had, and it was just the worst racing game ever made in the history of mankind, I think. Oh, we've got 1 minute. I've had enough of practicing for the moment. There's only so much you can do in a day, really. Let's see. Let's see if we can. Oh, the video's gone. No, the video's still here. This is it. This guy's playing it. Here we go. This is the first racing game I had at home. And remember, I only had a green screen monitor, so I only saw this in green for the first few years. So that's it. That's the first Grand Prix driver. And that guy there gets quite frustrated. If you listen to him through that video, he gets pretty frustrated playing that. And so top 16 superstars are doing their live stream, and that game was terrible. It was a really bad game. Nigel Mansell on the Amstrad. No, I didn't play that one on the Amstrad. I saw Nigel Mansell's on the Super Nintendo, but I didn't have it at the time, because games like F-Zero were better. Scarbs. Not so much Scarbs. I mean, Scarbs knows his stuff, but more some of the Autosport is they're more emphatic about how something works. And I think that when you're looking at something, remember, you're theorizing. You shouldn't be so emphatic. You can see what they're doing here. This is doing that, and this is doing that. No, you're theorizing. It's a theory that's how the airflow is working. That game was so terrible. If you watch that video at some point, you'll see that you practically go in a straight line. There's no corners. You just go from side to side, avoiding cars, and you can only go like that speed, and eventually you crash. That was my first video game, racing game. Oh, we're in a lobby, so I should concentrate. Alrighty. Oh, high scoring lobby as well, so better lobby than we had before. Typical, bloody typical. I could have won that last race. This one's going to be really hard now, isn't it? Right, let's concentrate then, and check the car settings set up. Right, let's do the warm up then. I'm assuming I'm the only person in the Porsche. It's all right. Oh, where do we went? Did he go back to the pits? Okay. Okay, viewers, let's see how we get on then. Qualifying. I don't know what car everybody's in. Didn't look earlier. Right. Oh, blimey. That was a bit of a balls up, wasn't it? Oh, man. It's not enough time for me to be able to pull back even with that penalty. He'll still beat me. So we're not completely on the limiter. I say that, he's very slow into the corners there. Oh, but look at that. Bit of a shame I didn't get past him actually, would have been handy. We're going to have to try and give ourselves as much space as possible between him going and me going. Remembering the fact that can't really do too much because we've got someone close behind who's going to overtake me down the straight again, so it's very difficult to qualify in this car. Slowing a bit here because I want to give him some space. Very difficult, very delicate whether I get overtaken on the straights, we'll see. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. 0.3 of a second behind him. I'll try again. Slightly worn tyres. Ah, well. 6-second penalty. Well, that's that then. That's torn it. Damn, damn, damn. Damn, damn, damn. That's torn it. I didn't think we went off. Again, just total inconsistency in terms of runoff. Just don't understand why sometimes you get 0 and sometimes you get a massive penalty like that. I mean, look at that, 6 seconds. Oh well. Oh my god. Just imagine that. I'm going to pull over and let this guy by. Don't want to get in his way. That's a real shame. I think we could have done a better lap then. I really do. Oh well. If we finish in the top 8, that'll be a result. And look at that. Goodness me, it was close as well, wasn't it? Let these guys by. No point getting in people's way at this stage, you know. I don't like to be one of those that just messes people up. It's nice to have a little race there, but that's about it. And that is the end of quali. That is the end of quali. It's a shame it doesn't let you do one more lap. You've got to sit here now for a few minutes. Right, let's see where I end up. I'm going to be back in just a minute, viewers. And hold on. And then we'll be back in just a moment, viewers. Okay, viewers, we're back. We're back and we're ready. Olivier's there. Hello, Alan. Don't know if you today's stream, but thanks for yesterday's stream's intro. With all, yeah, no, like you say, it's the new standard for the moment intro. I've got to produce an intro and ending, proper be right back screen and stuff like that. Getting in and out of here now, it's not as easy, so that's why we have to turn the camera off because I've moved things about a bit. Right. Thank you, Ant. Thank you. Appreciate it. So we're still third. It shows we could have probably got pole position there. We had the speed, didn't we, to do pole. I think if I'd got through that corner on that lap, it would have been a pole lap, no doubt. But strategy now, viewers. What are we going to do? What are we going to do in terms of strategy? I think we're going to go with the same tyre we went with before, harder tyre. And we're just going to go with a hard tyre. And see where we end up at the end. Okay. Go with the hards. We're going to go with a hard tyre again. Different strategy to everybody else. They're all going to go medium, so they're going to be much quicker on the first 2 laps. But so if we can finish lap 3 in the top 6, I'll be happy, and then anything can happen in the final lap for sure, because the tyres are going to wear, people are going to get penalties. Let's see, I mean, it's quite a tough lobby, isn't it? I mean, we're in here with A and S ranks, so to be third is okay. I always find I do better in faster cars. I'm much more comfortable in faster cars. But let's have the intro now, viewers, and got to be the intro. Here we go. Time for the heroes to return. There we go. Let's see. Let's hope we get through the first few corners nice and cleanly. Here we go. Together again, heroes return to the racetrack for a wonderful adventure, unlike anything you've seen before. The first lap is going to be very interesting. It is Gran Turismo Nations Cup. Okay. I just like to bring you all into the stress, feeling the stress. I know it always seems easy, but it's not. These guys are all really good drivers. Don't underestimate them. So I have a slow straight line speed, which means the first 2 laps I'm going to struggle. There we are. 3rd place, so not bad. One man, one desire. I don't know. Let's see. That's always the sort of 80s trailer, isn't it? And one man, one solution. All action. Do it. Look, I got to drive. Arnold Schwarzenegger is back. Alright, let's see now. Okay, we're going to focus on the race now, viewers. Look at that lovely car that is, isn't it? I wish I was driving that. Just for the car alone, it looks great. It deserves to be at the front, doesn't it? Love the Master 787B. Thanks, Glenn. Thanks, everybody. Got to chill now. Just chill, get in the zone. Please don't give me control on the apex. So we'll lose out quite a bit there. Oh, this is not good. This is not good for me. This is a bad start. These guys are really slow. I think he nudged him off, did he? Or did the guy just make a mistake? Ah, look, we're going to lose a place here. Here he comes. Just hold our line. Wow. Look at him go. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I thought he'd ghosted. My car's broken. Oh, Jesus. Car's broken. Car's broken. Car's broken. Ah, we've just lost the win. We've just lost the win. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Oh, goodness me. Ah, well, that's that. That's that done, isn't it? What a disaster. What a disaster. I thought when it ghosted, just go through him. No, no point quitting, Jeff. No point quitting. The auto repair is gradually repairing the car, but it's just ruined the race now. That was a victory in sight there. Victory in sight. Damn. That's the second time I've hit a ghost. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Ah, we're quicker than these guys. This is so frustrating. so frustrating. Be winning this now by a mile. Come on, don't have enough drive out the corner. A lot more speed than him on the corners, you see. He's so slow in the corners. It's really forcing me to brake a bit more just to avoid him. Ah, well, pushing hard. It's cost me big time now. Ah, not racing the race I want to race at all. So frustrating. What a frustrating race. Look at this guy just march past us now. Just as we get to the braking zone. Oh, he's got me. He's got me on speed. Nothing I can do. I should have defended the inside. I thought he was going to be much faster. Oh! Oh, I nearly lost it. Too tight. Oh, and another penalty. Oh, I'm trying to push too hard. It's a waste of time now. Damn it. Oh, it's so frustrating when you see a victory slip through your fingers. Car literally understeered a bit then. It's cost me. Don't know why I got that then. I'm taking that line all the time. There you go. Let's get another one. That's going to give me 4. Oh, well. Makes no difference now. That's really pissed me off, that has. Crashing into a ghost. Oh well. I've knackered my tyres unfortunately now with all the aggressive driving, and I'm just very frustrated. You know, we should be winning this race. This was a nice, clean, easy race for me. Now my tyres are going as well because I've damaged them so much. So we'll be lucky to come in 8th at this rate because he's going to overtake us on the straights. I've ruined my tyres, no doubt about it. It's a different challenge to drive now. So, final lap. What a horrendous race. Damn. Well, there you go. That about finishes it, doesn't it? Tyres were gone anyway. Completely destroyed them. And that was that. Very frustrating. That would have been, I think that would have been a win then. So, just a disaster. Just a disaster. Well, I've never had that happen before. Well, actually I have. I've had it happen once. I've hit a ghost. But that ruined it for tonight. I'm very disappointed. That cost me a good 500 points. Just wasn't to be, viewers. Wasn't to be. So right, very disappointing, very disappointing. Ah well. Well, there you have it, viewers. That was a shockingly disappointed race, but at least we got some cash for our time, and it will have probably helped the old ranking. I am going to save the replay because that's just another instance of nonsense basically. But there you go. So that's it really for now, viewers. A disappointing final race to end on the evening, I have to admit. I was hoping there for a podium finish and really good points, but sadly it was a disaster. And after that, though I raced as hard as I could, I destroyed the tyres just trying to get back to where I was, and then wasn't able to do anything at the end there. The tyres were just gone basically. The way you're supposed to run it is you run it quite conservatively, so you get in the lead and you conserve your tyres or wherever you are, and then on that final lap that really does come back to you. But fortunately the final lap there it went the other way because of all the drama that happened. But that's it for now, viewers. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I'm a bit frustrated with it today. Damn, I really would have been nice to have finished the season on a high, but there you go, that's what it is. And so there we have it. So 3-hour stream. It's been a long one again today, but thanks for watching, viewers. There's a bunch of you watching there. Not so much chat tonight, pretty quiet on the chat from everybody, but thanks for tuning in, everybody, and there'll be more from me very soon.